Hey everyone, it's Cyndi. I just completed some items. I'm so excited. So I'm going to share those with you now. All right, so you've seen these before. Actually, you've seen all this stuff that I'm going to show you today before. This was all about finishing stuff I've already started. So I have like a little bin here in the studio where I have put things that I needed to finish and get ready for sale or just finish in general. So this is one of those, these are one of those things. Excuse me. Basically, they were complete. They just needed to be mounted. So actually today what I need to do is I need to print off the backings for these that explain what they were and sign them. And then these are ready for sale. So this is a series here. I have another one that has not been mounted yet because I actually ran out of my red line tape, which I was using to mount them. Initially, I started mounting things using a spray adhesive, and the things were not mounting very well. So I have, they would come loose, so that was pretty bad. So I've started mounting with red line tape, and I ran out, so I ordered some from Amazon. It's supposed to be here today, but I think I had it sent to the house, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do that here. Because what happens with Amazon, and I'm going to put this here so you have something to look at. What happens with Amazon is sometimes they'll come here to the studio and they come here after business hours, and then I'll get a notice saying that they attempted delivery, and I'm like, well, that's annoying. So if I send it to the house, at least because what happens if it comes on a Friday, which this was scheduled to do, and they don't come until after hours? Well, then I don't get it until Monday. So that's why I had it sent to the house. But anyway, I digress. This is actually a little junk journal that I started a while back. This is the back of it, and I'm leaving it just like this. I loved the fact that it had, and that's upside down for you, I'm sorry. I forgot the way my camera was situated. So this is the back of that little junk journal that I made a while ago, and I left it plain. I really liked the fact that it had the name of the children on them, because this is the front cover, and these are these adorable little children, and I love the photo. This is an actual original photo that's on here that I decorated the front, and this was the folio that these children actually came in. So this photo was in this folio, and I just used it and turned it into a journal. I attached it such that you could tuck something in here. I didn't do a lot of additions to this because this is actually going to be for sale. And I have discovered that if I over embellish the time and effort that go into making the book, make it cost prohibitive for somebody to purchase. So, but this is the first page. And I took another picture of the same children, and I just decorated it very, very minimally, and it goes right there in that pocket. But I suppose what I really did here that you did not see, because you have seen this book before, and I'll link that here as well, was I bound it. So this is a 3-hole pamphlet bound stitch there that I did on this little folio, and I put all the pages together. And like I said, I did not do a whole lot of, I did stamping and whatever, but I didn't do a whole lot of additions to things because, for example, something like this, because I did not want to spend the time and make it too costly for somebody to purchase. So I did add a couple of different things. So basically, I think the theme of these is really for women, very nice things for women. It says, what art's for a woman? To hold on her knees both darlings, to feel all their arms round her throat, cling, strangle a little, to sew by degrees, embroider the long clothes and neat little coat, to dream and to dote. So that's like for a mom. And then there's another quote in here as well. And I love all of the vintage lace and trims. That's kind of like a thing that I just really, really enjoy. I have to find the other, where's the other verse? There's 2 of them in here. So this is the other quote that's in the book, and it says, "Yet I was a poetess only last year, and good at my art for a woman," men said. "But this woman, this, who is agonized here, the East Sea and the West Sea rhyme on in her head forever instead." Very interesting. I don't remember who it was that wrote that, to be honest with you, and does it say on the first one? I don't know that it says. It does not say. So I don't know who wrote that. I suppose it's one of those things we could Google and find out, but I don't know. Anyway, I finished that. That will be for sale. I also took some of those collage strips that we did last week, and I turned those into a piece that's not quite finished. I'm going to work on that today. So I took the strips and I took one of my archival mounting boards and I added them here. So I'm going to do a series. I like to work in series. So I'm going to do 3 of these, and I'm going to add some other things to this to make this more cohesive as a piece. Pieces, because like I said, I'm going to work in 3s. So I'm going to work on those today. I found this at home when I was looking for some materials to bring today. This is actually a piece that we did in my art group last year during the pandemic, and it was just kind of like making quilting type things out of your artwork. And I believe that one of my art group buddies was inspired by another artist, so none of us can claim this as our own, and I don't remember who that was, so I apologize. I'm just going to work on it a little bit more so that I can mount it and put that also up for sale in the studio. In other words, make it more my own. And this is my own. This is my interpretation of the idea that was presented. So that's true, but I am going to do some more stuff with that. Thought I would take you along for this process. So I cut a couple more of my archival boards there, and I took some of the strips to my cutter and I cut them at angles like this to do this. These 2 I tore after I put on the page on the board. This one I'm not quite sure. I have to tell you that I'm really funny about white space. I don't know. I think there's a lot of artists that are funny about white space. Like, I actually feel like I need that there. My vision is to add red circles that I'm going to do similar to this, but just the red circles on each one of these to bring them together as a cohesive body. But like this white space in here, oh my gosh, it drives me crazy, but I know that I'm going to put the red thing on there. Same thing with this white space here, bothers me a little bit, but I feel like I need it. Like if I add too much, then it's getting too busy, and then when I put the red thing on, it'll be really busy. So I think I'm going to leave that there. Now it's interesting because this piece right now doesn't have as much red as some of the other ones, but maybe the big red piece that I'll put on later will bring them together. We'll see. Anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. All right, so I'm finished with these. I'm extremely happy with the way they turned out, although they didn't turn out like I had fully envisioned them. I think they turned out better. As artists, I don't know, those of you that are watching that also do art, you probably can relate to this, how a piece often becomes what it wants to be, not what we want it to be. And that was the case here. So I knew that I wanted to put the red circles on here, and I did. And I was actually quite happy with that at that time. But then I wound up wanting to add some movement. And I first added some movement with lines, and I wasn't happy with that. So I don't know if you can even see this. So I added a little bit of just some movement there on each one of the pieces. I thought that would be interesting, and I still like it, but I didn't like the lines with it. You can see it on each one. There's one that has that. So I decided to go ahead and do the dots, in part because I like the contrast, and then so I put the dots in areas to just add some movement around the piece, and I like it. I think it's quite striking. These 2 are upside down on purpose. When I was doing them, essentially they just demanded it. I don't even know how to explain that. We first had them like this, And I suppose that, you know, whoever purchases them can do them however they want to. So this one was in the middle and these two were kind of on the right side, you know, on the opposite sides, and when they were upside down. Plus, I just kind of felt like it needed, the text needed to be turned on its head, if that makes any sense. It's just what it wanted to do. So, but I actually like this grouping the best for me. And who knows, because they are offered for sale individually, so oftentimes people will choose only to buy one of them as opposed to all three of them. But if they choose all three, they can do them however they want to. Anyway, I was going to work on that other piece, this piece. I was going to work on this today and see what I could do with that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get started on the rest of my shipping for today. Maybe clean up the studio a little bit and price some more stuff and get it out. I do have another video I have to do for my other channel. If you're not familiar with that, I will put a link up there somewhere. It's Mimi's Treasure Cottage. So I need to get another video edited and put out for that as well. So if you were interested in those cardboard pieces, I will post that video here. Be sure to comment on this video for me as well. Thanks. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.